Welcome back to our Algebra 1B videos. In this video, we're going to look at our midpoint formula. So the midpoint is just the point in the middle of a segment. And it cuts it into two equal pieces. If you put something right in the middle of a line, you're going to get an equal number on the left and an equal number on the right of that point. Another way to say that is that it bisects a segment. So anything that bisects a figure to bisect means to cut it into two congruent parts. So segment bisector cuts a segment into two equal parts. So let's do some practice ones. I can find the midpoint of a horizontal line. My first coordinate is going to be -2, 3. Then I go to 4, 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units long. So if it's 6 units long, right in the middle would be 3 units along that line, or line segment. So this coordinate would be 1, 3. Now, what I'm really doing is I'm finding the number that's in the middle of -2 and +4 for this number. I'm finding the number right in the middle of -2 and +4. And how I can do that algebraically is I can take -2 plus 4 and find the average of those two. So I'm finding the average of those two numbers, and the average is my first coordinate. It works with y's as well. So if this is 2 units long, right in the middle is 1 unit away from the start or finish. So that is -3, 2. That's my coordinate. And I could have found that algebraically by taking 1 plus 3, my y coordinates, and finding that average. So that would be 4 divided by 2, which is just 2. But how do I do that with a diagonal line? Because I can't just count up where the middle is. I'm going to have to do the average for both parts. So I'd have to find out what's the average of -3 and 4. And then I'd have to find out what's the average of 1 and 3. And this would get me 1/2, 2. So let's try that, 1/2, 2. And that looks like it's right in the center. Now, in general, our formula would be take your x's, add them up, and divide by 2. And then take your y's, add them up, and divide by 2. And notice that your final answer, because it's a point, is an ordered pair. So you have an ordered pair for your final answer. Let's try a couple together. I'm going to skip down to the bottom of that next page. And again, we'll label our x1, y1, x2, y2. And our formula is add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, and divide by 2. Excuse me. So here, to find my x's, let's add the x's. 5 plus a -4, and I'll divide by 2. And then I need to add the y's. 12 plus 8, and divide by 2. And if I simplify that, I would get 1 over 2 and 20 over 2. And I could simplify that even farther to get, you could do a decimal or you could leave it as a fraction. Either way is fine. Now I'd like you to pause the video, try the next 3, and then unpause and check your work. Okay, so you should have, on this one, negative 8 plus 5 over 2, negative 2 plus 1 over 2. So you've got negative 1.5, comma, negative 0.5, or negative 3 halves, negative 1 half. Either way is fine. On this next one, we should have 1 comma 7, and then on 7 we should have 4 comma 5. So those would be our midpoints, the points right in the middle of that segment. Let me know what questions you have, and I will see you soon.